Hi, I'm Kurt Stonecker, Technical Trainer and Coordinator here at Western Colorado University. In today's video, we're going to take a look at Microsoft Teams. We'll go over installation and locating Teams on your computer, as well as some basic features. In addition, we'll go over the fundamentals of building a team and the creation and methodology behind building channels within that team. Feel free to check the timestamps in the description of this video if you are only looking for a specific topic. Locating Teams on your computer. First, we'll want to find out if you already have Teams installed on your computer. If you have Teams installed on your Mac or Windows machine, it will generally launch automatically once you've logged in. If not, on a Windows machine, you can simply tap the Windows key, then type the word Teams. If Teams is installed, you'll see it here in the menu. Go ahead and launch the program by left-clicking on either icon or the Open menu option. On a Mac, open your Launchpad, type Teams in the search bar. If Teams is currently installed on your computer, it will show up in the search results. Installing Teams. If in either case you can't find Teams on your computer, we can easily download it. In order to download Teams, you'll need to open a browser such as Chrome and navigate to 365.western.edu. Once there, you may be required to log in. Use your Western email address as the login name and your normal Western password if prompted. Once you're logged in, you should see the Teams icon in the menu on the left-hand side of the screen. Left-click on it to open the program. If Teams is not visible, left-click on the waffle menu in the top left corner. Then from the context menu, select All Apps. You should see Teams among the list of available programs. Go ahead and open it. Once Teams is open, click on the ellipsis next to your personal icon in the top right-hand corner. From the context menu, left-click on Download the desktop app. Your browser should download a file and automatically begin the installation process. If your computer doesn't automatically begin this process after about 4 minutes, you'll need to find the teams.exe file in your Downloads folder and double-click it to begin the process. Though you can run the online version of Teams on 365.western.edu, it's better to access Teams from the desktop app. The desktop app includes some additional functionality absent in the online version. Getting started. Once Teams is successfully installed, it should automatically open. Its default setting is also to automatically open when you turn on or restart your computer. If this is not the case, follow the steps earlier in the video to open it. Please note, you may again be prompted to log in. Use your Western email and password. You can turn the auto start function off and on by clicking the ellipsis next to your personal icon in the top right-hand corner and selecting Settings from the context menu. Then, in the General category, you'll find the checkbox for Auto Start Application under the Application heading. It's recommended that you keep this box checked to help prevent you from missing important communications with the rest of your team. The basics. Now that we've got Teams installed and open, let's take a look at some of the basic features. Looking at the Teams homepage, you'll see a strip of icons running down the left-hand side of the screen. This is known as the navigation bar. From top to bottom, we have Activity. Clicking this icon will show you any recent activity in your Teams or chats. Chat. Anytime you directly message someone in Teams or they message you, a chat will be created. You'll also be able to see your chat history with a specific person. Teams. Clicking this icon will let you view the teams you are currently a member of. This is where the meat of your team's experience will take place. More on this later. Calendar. Your team's calendar view will sync with your Outlook calendar, provided your account has already been migrated from the Microsoft Exchange server to Microsoft's 365 server. This has already been completed for staff, and we're hoping to have faculty completed by mid-October 2022. If you find that your calendar is blank, feel free to put in a work order to inquire about getting your account changed over. In this section, you'll also be able to schedule Teams meetings by clicking the plus new meeting button in the upper right-hand corner. Calls. Here you'll find a list of calls you've made or received in Teams. You can also use this area to place voice and video calls through Teams. Please note, while you might find this screen helpful, it is by no means the only way to make or receive calls and video chats in Teams. More on that later. Files. This is a list of links to recently uploaded or modified files in your chats and Teams, allowing you to quickly navigate to recent or important documents. Ellipsis. Clicking on this icon will give you a context menu where you can search for connectors. Connectors are apps that can be added to a team or channel discussed later in order to boost its functionality. You can get a full list of connectors by clicking on the apps icon further down in the navigation bar. While there are a plethora of connectors, it should be noted that not all will be available for free. Before you add any connectors, it's a good idea to check with IT. Finally, we have the Help icon. Clicking here will give you access to many help topics, trainings, and community message boards, all curated by Microsoft. Now that we have an overview of the basic functions Teams has to offer, let's take a closer look at how you'll likely be using Teams. Chat. Even if you haven't used Teams much during your time here at Western, I'm guessing most of you will be familiar with the chat function. In order to use chat, we'll first need to click on the chat icon in the navigation bar. Once you're in chat, you can type the name of any person here at Western in the search bar. When their name comes up, click on it to open a chat window. If you sent messages to this person before, you'll see your message history in the window. Any files you've sent or received can be viewed here in the Files tab. In the basic chat, files are stored in the sender's OneDrive and shared with the recipient. For this reason, the normal chat is not the best place to collaborate on files. In addition to sending messages back and forth, you can also use this camera icon for impromptu video chats, this icon for quick voice-only calls, or this icon if you just want to share your screen with the other person. If you need to add more people to the chat, you can do so here. After clicking the icon, you'll just need to begin typing their name. Select them when they come up and click the Add button. Typing in the chat window. Now that we've selected who we want to message, let's take a look at the message window and some of the features and formatting housed there. If you just want to send a short message, you can click in the message window and begin typing. As soon as you press the return key on your keyboard, the message will be sent. In the ribbon along the bottom of the message window, you'll have some options. Here are some of the typical icons you may see in that ribbon and their functions. Formatting. Left-clicking this icon will let you type longer messages, including paragraph breaks, without sending the message every time you hit the return key. It also brings up a formatting ribbon at the top of the message window, giving you many more options. Most of the options on this ribbon are similar to those you'd find in Word. With this ribbon, you'll also be able to do things like create bulleted lists and add HTML if you so desire. Remember, to send a message once you're in formatting mode, you'll need to click on the Send icon here. Delivery options. Left-clicking on this icon will let you set delivery options for your message. Here you can mark your message as important or urgent. Important messages will have this header and be marked with an exclamation point. Urgent messages are sent with this header and a bell icon here. The recipient will receive an email and will be notified of the message via Teams every 2 minutes for 20 minutes or until they read the message. Attachments. Here you can attach files from your computer or OneDrive. Loop components. Here you can add bulleted lists, tables, or paragraphs that anyone in the chat will be able to edit. This is great for quickly getting feedback on ad hoc issues. Please note that collaborations on longer documents benefit more from uploading the document to a channel where you can work on it together in real time. More on that later. Emojis, GIFs, and stickers. What chat would be complete without being able to send decorative images and short video loops to help convey your emotions? Scheduling Assistant. Left-clicking this icon will bring up a new meeting window. You just need to fill out the meeting invitation and send it off. You can also make use of the Scheduling Assistant here. This view makes use of the Outlook calendars for both you and those you're inviting to the meeting. Please note that your Microsoft account must be migrated from our Exchange server to the 365 server for any calendar services to function properly. If your account hasn't been migrated yet, or you aren't sure, please feel free to contact IT Services. Stream. Stream is a video service much like YouTube, only limited to videos here at Western. We are not currently utilizing this technology. Praise. Clicking on Praise will allow you to send badges with short notes to the recipient. They serve little purpose other than morale boosting. You will also have access to approvals, Viva Learning, and updates. These options are a bit outside the scope of this basic training, and some are not currently utilized here at Western. Once we've explored these options a bit more in depth, we'll issue training on their use and best practices. Now that we've taken a look at the basic chat, let's dig into some of the expanded abilities you'll have once you're on a team. What is a team? At this point, we've only scratched the surface of what Microsoft Teams is capable of. The most useful and important parts of the Teams app lie within the teams themselves and their associated channels. So what is a team exactly? A team is a group made up of colleagues and coworkers so that they can effectively and efficiently work together on documents and projects. In terms of best practices, a team should be built to include your entire department or committee. Within that team, you can then create subgroups called channels, which are generally designated for work on specific areas or projects and will include some or all of the larger team members. As an example, let's take a look at the build-out of the IT services team. Here we see the IT services team. This team is comprised of all IT services personnel. Directly underneath, we see several channels. Some channels have a lock icon marking them as private channels. Only a selected few team members have been assigned to these private channels. Those channels without the lock icon are public channels. Everyone can participate in public channels like Office Talk, used for chats and messages not strictly related to IT, and Tech Talk, where we discuss various tech problems and solutions. We also have private channels like FLS. Only those members of frontline support have been given access to this channel, as well as the chats, documents, and files it houses. So, when thinking about the hierarchy of your team, it's a good idea to have channels including your entire department where two-way communication can happen quickly and efficiently, as well as project-based channels for those smaller groups within your department working towards specific goals. For example, a department might utilize a private channel for just working on grant proposals or enrollment initiatives, which larger portions of the overall team needn't concern themselves with. It should be noted that all teams automatically come with a public general channel which cannot be renamed or deleted. Two use cases for this channel would be 1. For owners of the channel to post announcements the rest of the team can view but not post, or 2. Using the general channel as your Office Talk channel where all members of the team can post on issues of their choosing. Posting in a channel. Unlike the simple chat function, postings in Teams channels are arranged in conversations. Conversations work like this. Let's say I want to post some new information in the Tech Talk channel. First, you need to navigate to the channel by left-clicking on it. Here you can see previous conversations. You can add comments to any of these conversations by left-clicking on Reply at the bottom of the conversation. This brings up a typing field and formatting ribbon as it does in the chat. Anytime you want to call another member's attention to your post or reply, you can @mention them. To @mention a member, type the @ symbol and begin typing the member's name. When it comes up, you can either click on it or press the tab button and their name should appear in blue. When you post your comment, the member you @mentioned will get a special alert on their computer. This is really helpful in busy conversations when you need an answer or opinion from someone quickly. If you want to start a new conversation, left-click on the New Conversation button at the bottom of the screen. In order to draw more attention to your conversation, click on the formatting icon. Here you can add a subject line to your conversation. This will also bring up some options absent from the normal chat. First, we see this drop-down which will allow us to change this conversation into an announcement. An announcement will let you add a headline with a banner. You can use the default banner or customize the banner with a different color here. You even have the option to use a more stylized banner like this mountain scene, or you can upload your own. When posting, you can also attach files. These files show up with your post. You can also find this and other files that are uploaded to the channel by clicking on the Files tab here. So how does Teams handle files exactly? How does Teams handle files? While we saw earlier the files you send in a simple chat are housed in the sender's OneDrive and simply shared with the recipient, files in a team are dealt with somewhat differently. When a team is first built, Microsoft generates an associated SharePoint site to handle the files in the team and its channels. You can think of SharePoint as secured cloud storage. When you attach a file to a message inside a team, that file is stored in SharePoint under the channel you posted it to and becomes property of said team's channel. The question I most often get here is, we have a department shared drive, and we all have OneDrives where we share files. Why do we need another storage space? The difference is this. When an employee saves a file to their OneDrive or shared drive, then shares it, the employee still owns that document. When the employee separates from Western, their files are deleted within 90 days. At this point, others in the department will lose any access they had to these documents unless they've had the foresight to transfer and resave those documents. Now a department either has several copies of the same document floating around with mismatched permissions, or they've lost the file altogether. But when an employee uploads a file to their team, the team now owns that file. Members of the team can access the document and edit it together and in real time. And since the file is now also owned by the team, even if the original owner of the file leaves Western, other team members will still be able to access and edit it. When a file is uploaded to a public channel, all members of the team will be able to view and edit the file. If you upload a file to a private channel, only those other members of that channel will be able to view and edit the file. A side note for those of you more comfortable managing files directly from SharePoint. If you click on the Files tab at the top of the channel, you are given the option to open the file view in SharePoint. Although SharePoint itself is out of the scope of this training, I want to mention it for those of you who currently use it. Editing files as a group. One of the most helpful aspects of a team is being able to edit documents and files together and in real time. For this example, I'll again use our IT services team. Let's say I'm working with a small group of coworkers on intranet issues. We already have a channel built which includes just those of us working on intranet issues. I'm going to upload a document I've been working on so the others in the channel can view and edit it. So I'll type a message in the channel to the effect of, "Hey, please view and add to this punch list of intranet updates." Clicking on the paperclip icon will let me attach the file, then I can send out the message. Now that I've sent the message, everyone in the channel has the ability to navigate to the document either by clicking on the document in the message here or by clicking on the Files tab and locating the document in SharePoint. When opening a document, Teams will default to opening the document in the online version of Microsoft Office. This allows others in the group to both view your edits as well as make their own edits concurrently. It is preferable to edit group documents in this manner instead of downloading the document, editing it, and re-uploading it, as this can cause confusion among your group. As we can see here, while I'm editing this document, I can also see where my coworker is editing the document. Any changes will be saved automatically. Scheduling meetings. It should be first noted, if your Western account has not been migrated from the Exchange server to the 365 server, your calendar functions, including scheduling meetings, will not be available. You will still be able to start meetings immediately. However, scheduling future meetings will need to be done through Outlook. We'll go over that method in a minute. You have a lot of options when it comes to scheduling meetings in Teams. For quick meetings with your entire team, you can navigate to the channel of your choosing and left-click on the Meet button. This will launch a meeting for all members and owners of the channel. All members of the channel will be notified of the meeting. If you want to schedule a meeting for a later date, click on the caret next to the Meet button. From the context menu, select Schedule a Meeting. This brings up a window where you can set the details of the meeting. When inviting attendees, you can type the names of the team members you'd like to attend. If you're inviting the entire team, you can just type the name of the team in the required attendee section. Unfortunately, you can't invite individual channels in the same way. You'll need to invite the individual members. If you want the meeting invite posted inside a channel, you can specify that information here. You're also free to schedule Teams meetings via Outlook. I'm currently using Outlook 2019. If you're using a different version of Outlook or the online client, your view might be a bit different, but the basic steps remain the same. In order to accomplish this, first open Outlook and navigate to the calendar. Once in the calendar, click on New Teams Meeting in the ribbon. Outlook will automatically populate the meeting invite with the Teams meeting info, and you can invite attendees as normal. Building a team. As we move forward with Teams implementation on campus, generally IT will assist in building your department's team. Apart from that, there may be some use cases where you will be called upon to build a team for a committee or other group here on campus. For this reason, I'll also go over how to start a team from scratch, as well as add and delete members from the teams and their channels. To begin building your team, click on the Teams icon here. You may have to click on it twice if your last action was done inside a team. Bottom line, keep left-clicking on the Teams icon until your view changes to look like this. Here, you'll see any teams you are currently a part of. Now, go ahead and click the Join or Create Team button in the upper right-hand corner. This will take you to the following page. To begin creating your team, left-click on Create a Team. You will be given several options when selecting the type of team you'd like to create: class, professional learning community, staff, and other. In order to have the least amount of restrictions, it's generally best to select other, even though one of the other options may sound the closest to what you want to create. In the following window, you'll need to give your team a name and short description. It's best to keep the privacy setting on private. This way, you and anyone else you designate as an owner will have an easier time managing the team. Ignore the options to create a team using an existing team as a template or a group and click the Next button. This will bring you to a page where you can add members to the team. For those inside Western, you can start typing their name and left-click on them when their icon appears. For now, let's stick with Western personnel. You'll be able to add more members as well as guests, users from outside Western, once we get the team built. After you've got at least some of the team members listed in the window, you can left-click on the Add button. Members you've added will show up directly under the selection window. On the right side of the window, you can use this drop-down menu to designate each person as a member or owner. Selecting Owner here will give this person full control of the team along with you. This means they will have the ability to add and delete members and channels, and even the ability to delete the team altogether. Please note, the best practice when creating a team is to designate at least one other person as an owner. This comes in handy when an owner action is needed and one of the owners is unavailable, or in the unlikely event one of the owners is separated from Western. Once you have your personnel set up to your liking, go ahead and click the Close button. You will now be looking at the home screen of your freshly created team. To manage your team members, click on the ellipsis next to the team name here and select Manage Team from the context menu. From this screen, you'll be able to add and delete members and change their roles much like we did when creating the team initially. If you need to change their roles, click on this caret beside Members and Guests. To then delete a member, left-click on the X to the right of their role. In addition, you can use the tabs at the top of the screen to view pending requests, add or delete channels, change settings at the team level, and so on. To add a new channel from the team's home screen, again click on the ellipsis next to the team name and select Add Channel. This will bring you to a window where you can add a channel name and description, as well as set the privacy of the channel. Once the channel has been created, you'll be prompted to add members. Remember, you can only add members to a channel who are already members of the overall team. After you've added the channel, you'll be able to manage it in the same way as the team by clicking on the ellipsis to the right of the channel name. This concludes our intro to Teams. I understand that this is a lot of information and that you may need clarification or assistance in some area or another. If this is the case, please create a work order and I'd be happy to schedule a personal, group, or department training at your convenience. For IT Services, I'm Kurt Stonecker, and thanks for watching.